Stay with us as we unravel the stories shaping our world today. This is Adamimogo 107.7 FM News.
A beautiful afternoon to you and welcome to Global Box, your quick tour bulletin around the world on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido-Ekiti. In the news, Nigeria's defense chief urges citizens to acquire combat skills for self-defense. SpaceX launches secretive U.S. military secretariat spacecraft. EU diplomat warns Ukraine against Putin's land deal. Many thanks for joining us on Global Box this afternoon. I am Oladoyin Ayegbusi. We begin the news from Nigeria, where the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, has advised Nigerians to learn combat skills to protect themselves in the face of danger. Speaking in an interview yesterday, the defense chief likened the accusation of martial art like karate, taekwondo, and judo to driving, swimming, and other surviving skills. General Musa added that the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) ought to train Nigerian graduates on unarmed combat skills for day-to-day survival against dark-hearted men.
I think it's important that we're able to give every Nigerian one security awareness at whatever level. Self-defense is very important. Unarmed combat, women, driving, these are critical aspects for human endeavor. Those are things we should never take for granted because it prepares you for the future. The world we're in now is dangerous. We have individuals that don't mean people well. They kill for whatever reason, and it is not only in Nigeria. I'm sure you know, even abroad, you see somebody will take a weapon, go to school.
According to him, these practices are evident in European nations where swimming, learning, and teaching about security is compulsory. Away from Nigeria, at least 5 bodies have been recovered from shallow graves at a site in Kenya, where victims of the religious cult are suspected to have been buried. Speaking in the Newsman, a pathologist, Richard Njoroge, said that 27 suspected graves were found while 6 have been exhumed.
At the commencement of this exercise, we had 27 suspected graves. So today we managed to exhume 6. Of the 6 graves, we found 5 bodies. And then also around that area, we found 10 different scattered body parts, scattered in different places on the surface.
Report says excavations were continuing at the site on the outskirts of Malindi in southeastern Kenya's Kilifi County, close to where hundreds of members of Doomsday Court were found dead 2 years ago. Still in Africa, the United Nations has revealed that a drone attack has hit a convoy of 16 trucks carrying desperately needed food to Sudan's famine-hit North Darfur region, as warnings parties trade blame for the attack. The UN spokesperson Daniela Gross told reporters yesterday that all drivers and personnel traveling with the World Food Programme WFP convoy were safe.
The Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs is gravely concerned by yet another attack on a humanitarian convoy, this time near Al-Melit in North Darfur State, which happened on August 20th. The convoy operated by the World Food Programme consisted of 16 trucks carrying life-saving food assistance for vulnerable families. These trucks were destroyed after catching fire during the drone attack. Fortunately, all convoy personnel are safe and accounted for.
While it was reported that at least 3 of the trucks caught fire, it was not clear who was responsible for the attack. And outside Africa, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted into space last night, carrying the U.S. military's secretive X-37B drone. According to SpaceX live stream of the event, the rocket successfully launched at 11:50 p.m. The Falcon 9 lit up the night sky over NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where it was launched from. The U.S. Space Force has said the drone's mission will include a wide range of test and experimentation objectives. A Japanese city is proposing that all smartphone users to limit screen time to 2 hours a day outside work or school under a proposed ordinance that includes no penalties. Report says the limit which will be recommended for all residents in central Japan's Toyokai city will not be binding, and there will be no penalties incurred for higher usage according to the draft ordinance. The draft urges elementary school students to avoid smartphones after 9 p.m. and junior high school students and older are advised not to use them after 10 p.m. The move prompted an online backlash, with many calling the plan unrealistic. You are still listening to Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Oladoyin Palace Idoekiti. Coming up next, EU diplomat warns Ukraine against Putin's land deal. Do join us again.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes! Right at Oladoyin Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your events on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talking. Simply visit us at Oladoyin Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878 or 0806 511 4430. You can also call 0806 380 8891 at Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido Ekiti. For happenings around you and news enquiries, please contact our newsroom on 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. The top diplomat of the European Union, EU, has warned against pushing Ukraine to give up territories to Russia as part of a future peace deal. Speaking in our first UK interview since EU leaders joined Donald Trump's White House peace talks with Ukraine, Kaja Kallas told newsmen that letting Russia keep Ukrainian territories is a trap that Putin wants them to walk into.
This is exactly the trap that Russia wants us to walk into. I mean, the discussion all about what Ukraine should give up, what is the concessions that Ukraine is willing to do, whereas we are forgetting that Russia hasn't made one single concession, and they are the ones who are the aggressor here. You know, if we walk into this trap that we are putting the pressure on Ukraine, what they are willing to give up, then we will see this again, because aggression will pay off.
Top diplomat of the European Union, Kaja Kallas, speaking there. A court in Thailand has dismissed the high-profile case against the country's former Prime Minister, Thaksin Shinawatra, over allegations he violated the country's strict laws on royal defamation. The billionaire and his lawyer, speaking to reporters with a smile as he left the courts following the verdict today, Thaksin, 76, said the case was dismissed. According to his lawyer, the court dismissed the charges against Thaksin, ruling that the evidence presented was insufficient.
The court reached a verdict to dismiss the case against the defendant, who was former PM Thaksin Shinawatra. There were many reasons for the acquittal, but in short, it all comes down to the fact that there was insufficient evidence from the plaintiff. The court sees that the interview has happened.
Also, the criminal court in Bangkok later confirmed it had dismissed the case due to a lack of evidence. Eric Menendez bid for freedom has suffered a setback after officials in the U.S. state of California denied him parole over killing of his parents more than 3 decades ago. The younger of the two notorious Menendez brothers, who were both convicted in the 1989 shotgun murders of their wealthy mother and father in Beverly Hills, made his first plea yesterday, with his brother Lee scheduled to face his own parole suitably hearing today. During the nearly all-day hearing, the panel asked him about the killings, his relationship with his parents, and his attempt to cover up the guilt in the murder. He grew emotional at times, describing the moment he opened fire on his parent.
I was just firing as I went into the room. I just started firing in front of me. My parents. Yeah. She told me to stop it and that I was exaggerating. My dad has to punish me when I do things wrong.
While both brothers were made eligible for parole released after they were resentenced by a judge in May, the board ruled that Eric Menendez can try for parole again at another hearing in 3 years. And finally, on sports this afternoon, Manchester City defender Ruben Diaz has signed a 2-year contract extension. The 28-year-old's previous deal had been set to expire in 2027, but his new deal would take him to 2029 with the option of a further 12 months. Recall the Portugal international joined City from Benfica for a fee of 65 million in 2020 and was named Premier League Player of the Year at the end of his first season. The defender has helped City to 4 league titles, the Champions League, the EFL Cup and the FA Cup during his 5 years at Etihad Stadium. And with that sports story, we end this edition of